so I don't know. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me with my stepsister, 29, and I still haven't gotten rid of the pain and hatred. I'm still taking therapy, and now I can't date or else I'm afraid they'll cheat on me. I found out on the day of my pregnancy. My ex told me that he's leaving me for my stepsister and that she's also pregnant. So I gave birth with no one to help me. My stepsister got engaged to my ex and they're planning a wedding. They invited me like nothing happened and everything was fine. She even called to discuss what I was wearing to the wedding. I told her I'm not going. She threw a tantrum and went to her mom. Her mom called and said I was being petty and not keeping the peace by not letting go of the past. I still refused, but now my entire step-family's calling me an a-hole and all kinds of stuff. My stepsister came to my freaking house and said I was just a bitter old C-word, and no one would date a jealous person like me. I immediately cut contact after that, but my friends say I should at least visit or congratulate them. I don't know if I'm being petty though. I know I'm not the a-hole for not going, but should I congratulate them? Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Obviously not the a-hole. I assume you're at least getting child support, etc. I am. Does your whole step family take crazy pills? No way in hell anybody could expect of you to go to that wedding or to congratulate them. WTF? Where is your father in all this? Does he not have a backbone? Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Listen closely. Screw them. Screw your ex, your stepsister, your stepmom, the whole family. Don't congratulate them on anything because they're only pushing it so they can feel less guilty about the messed up things they did. Take yourself and your baby if they are in the picture and live your best life without their toxicity. Not the a-hole. 100% screw them. In what universe is this action okay? Just wondering what you're wearing to celebrate your cheating ex and I getting married. Tee-hee. If that isn't his court-ordered custody time with your kid, I wouldn't even let them go. Screw your step-family. Not the a-hole. Your ex is marrying your stepsister. There is no way in hell you would be able to drag me to that wedding if I was in your shoes. Being honest, I am amazed you have contact with your step-family. I would have dropped them and any so-called friends who tell me to go to that wedding. I don't know. There is something to the idea of going to the wedding, eating all the food, drinking loads of free booze, and then getting up and giving a toast with all the gory details of how the happy couple met. Added bonus if OP mentions how great it's going to be to raise the two kids, with the same father, side by side. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to attend my twin brother's wedding? I, 21 male, first started dating my now ex-girlfriend, 21 female, when we were both 16. However, we made the decision to break up before heading off to college when we were 18. I decided to go to a few hours away while she decided to stay local. Also note that my girlfriend was very close with my family, so this was hard on my family as well. When returning home from my first year of college, my brother surprised me with the news that he had been dating a girl for over 6 months now. Only problem? It was my ex-girlfriend. I was obviously pissed, and my brother understood, but made it clear he had no intention of breaking up with her. Eventually, we came to the agreement that we would continue our relationship if he never mentioned her to me or made us interact. He happily agreed to these terms. However, recently my brother surprised me with the news that the two of them are now engaged, and he wants me to be his best man. I told him absolutely not. He and I had agreed from the beginning that I would not have to attend any event where my ex would be there. My whole family is calling me selfish and telling me I can suck it up for one night. But I just don't feel comfortable being the best man at my ex's wedding. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to the wedding and be his best man? Edit. For clarification, yes, we are identical twins. Not the a-hole. Those were your terms. He agreed to them. End of story. Because life is black and white and there is no nuance to anything ever. OP, who cares who was the a-hole here? It's done. She's going to be your sister-in-law. You've got to get that right with you. Go have an honest conversation with your brother. A person's personal boundaries are black and white. They are also fixed in place. And in this case, they aren't absurd or crazy when this girl became so attached to OP's family that after over a year of dating OP, she started dating his identical twin. That's fine for her and her brother, but it's not fine for Opie, and that's okay. If this is the hill he wants to die on, more power to him, as long as he knows that his relationship with his family may suffer. His family doesn't respect his boundaries. They see her as a surrogate daughter, and Opie sees her as an ex from a very formative time in his life that they want to force him to be around for forever, and the family doesn't get it. So it's up to each individual to do what they feel comfortable doing here. Not day-hole. I think dating your sibling's ex is a scummy thing to do anyway. So why the hell should you be uncomfortable for someone who's done that to you? I think you handled the entire situation well, better than most people would, with the agreement you both came up with. I'm actually shocked your brother thought you'd say yes. Like, that generally baffles me. Why on earth would you be the best man at your brother's and ex-girlfriend's wedding? Why is it so common on Reddit? I can't think of a person having a less attractive quality than being my sister's ex. Well, no a-holes here. Because you have every right to not go to your brother's wedding, but you know that you're basically sacrificing your family for the rest of your life. For a girl you dated as a teenager. You guys didn't work out, and after you broke up, she and your brother realized they were more compatible. They've been dating for over 2 years, so it's not like a fling to spike you. But they're going to marry, which means they will be invited as a family to every family event. If they choose to have kids, they will be your nieces and nephews, and your parents' grandkids. The grandkids will definitely be invited to every event. So you need to basically decide if you're willing to say no to every family event in the future, or never meet your brother's kids, because there's a woman he was more compatible with than you were. While I agree with all of this, there's more to it. Twin brother risked his relationship with Opie for a girl. Like, can you imagine? I would feel more betrayed that my own twin sibling thought it was okay to go after my ex. What does that honestly say about someone's priorities and values? Nothing good, I'm afraid. Opie will get over the girl one day, but that deception, that betrayal, will stick. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for not wanting my maid of honor's boyfriend at my wedding? Myself and my maid of honor have been best friends for around 6 years. She got into a relationship with her boyfriend about 3 years ago. He doesn't like me because every time they argue, she comes to me and she stays with me and my fiancé. Around 3 years ago, I had a party for my birthday. My best friend had just gotten with her boyfriend 10 days previous and insisted that I invited him. I told her she could bring him. When they came, they both sat in the corner for the entire night and didn't speak to anyone else, didn't dance, and didn't even wish me a happy birthday. 2 years ago, my best friend found out she was pregnant and he didn't want anything to do with it. He told her he was leaving if she carried on with the pregnancy, so I stepped up and helped her. I went to every doctor's appointment, paid for all her pregnancy vitamins, and bought her new clothes to fit her changing body. Through the stress of everything with her boyfriend, she miscarried, and she had to be rushed to the hospital. I was by her side through everything, stayed at the hospital with her and bought everything she needed. When she woke up from surgery, she thanked me for everything I'd done, and her boyfriend got angry. He said that I didn't do anything for her, and that I was a horrible friend. I let it go because I thought he was just angry and upset about everything that had happened. But even now he still tries to stop her from seeing me, and whenever she's with me, he is constantly messaging her so we can't spend any time together, just us. We have spoken about his dislike for me, and she said that she wished things were different, but he is stuck in his opinion of me and there's nothing I can do to change it. I have expressed to my maid of honor that I don't want her boyfriend at my wedding, because I feel like something would happen to ruin my day, especially after seeing how they reacted on my birthday. Why would I want someone who doesn't like me to be there on my most special day? She doesn't understand why I don't want him there, and has told me she's not coming to my wedding unless he's invited. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole and she needs to wake up a bit. This relationship sounds extremely toxic. I wouldn't want him there in your shoes either. Why risk someone who hates you being at your wedding? This 100%. You didn't mention her family or other friends. Are you all she has? I know my family would chime in if I had a relationship that tainted my best friendship. The hardest part of this for you, honestly, is she's already made her choice, and you need to face it. She's chosen to stay with him even through his cowardly, manipulative, disgusting, and disrespectful behavior. You inviting him to the wedding will only potentially ruin your wedding, and it will only delay the inevitable. She's already chosen. Save your wedding and yourself. May your marriage be a happy one. She doesn't have a good relationship with her family. She moved in with her boyfriend and his mom over a year ago and has been quite isolated since. We don't really have other friends, just each other. Thank you. Not Dayhal, but I'm very concerned for your friend. My guess is she's trapped in an abusive relationship from the way he's trying to cut off her support and isolating her from her friends. We saw the same red flags. Opie's not Dayhal. Her friend is almost certainly in an abusive relationship and has the wool over her eyes. It often takes the abuse turning physical to recognize it as abuse, and by then, it is basically always too late. I really hope that Opie can find a way to help her friend somehow. Not Dayhal. And I don't understand how some people can look past how their significant others treat other people. Why would anyone want to be with someone who treats anyone, let alone someone they love, the way he treats you? Don't invite him. You shouldn't have to worry about being disrespected on any day, let alone one that's meant to be celebrating your happiness. If she doesn't want to come, that's fine, but she needs to let you know now so you can choose another maid of honor. Honestly, I just go ahead and start finding a backup in case she pulls some kind of stunt closer to the day to get you to cave. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole because I don't want to go to my sister's wedding? My 30 female sister 28 female is getting married June 26. She was supposed to get married last summer, but you know. They went to the courthouse and got married in paper last autumn, but now that everyone's vaccinated and restrictions are lifting, they're planning a ceremony and a reception in Florida. I've been in a master's program for the past 2 years and just graduated. I'm moving across the country, Dallas to Seattle, the week before her wedding because I received a job offer, and I'm supposed to start the Monday, June 28, after her wedding. My current lease is up exactly 1 week, June 19, before her wedding. The new lease in Seattle starts in June 24. My plans have been in place for about 2 months. Her plans have been in place for a while, but she only recently sent out invitations with the date, and I realized she couldn't have picked a worse weekend for me. It's going to take me 4 days to actually drive the U-Haul to my new estate with a dog and cat in tow, and it's not possible for me to move in at my place in Seattle much earlier because the current tenant doesn't move out until 2 days before. I already called to check. It's not possible for me to move from Dallas later because my current apartment has already rented out the unit to someone else. I checked that too. Not to mention the logistics of a very short-term lease are going to be awful and expensive when I'm already trapped for cash. I've never been close to her. She's never come to any of my important events, aside from high school graduation because my parents made her. I wasn't invited to the wedding shower stuff for their courthouse wedding. I'm not in the wedding party, not invited to the rehearsal dinner. I only received a wedding announcement with registry info and an invitation to the wedding and reception. I RSVP'd no. Now she and my family are losing their minds. I've been called every kind of name and have been accused of planning it this way on purpose. They're saying I still could come. I'm just choosing not to. I guess I could, in theory. Race to Washington, pay movers to throw all my stuff in my new apartment on the 24th, find a place to board my dog and cat on short notice, buy a plane ticket to fly to Florida on the 25th, attend a wedding on the 26th, fly back on the 27th, and be home just in time to start my new job the next day. I just don't want to, and can't afford it. The move and apartment deposit has me already stretched pretty thin money-wise. Pet deposits aren't cheap, and neither is gassing up a U-Haul for a cross-country move. Am I the a-hole? Edited to add. I didn't RSVP no without explanation. I did call both my mom and sister and explain I probably couldn't be there. They both got irritated and insisted I could probably find a way. And when they asked for a final answer a week later, I said no. That was when all hell broke loose because they both assumed that with a bit of time and reflection, I'd understand how important it was to be at my sister's wedding. Not today, Hall. Have your parents offered money to help your logistics to do it? Why not tally up all the added costs and say if they can pay, then you'd be delighted to attend. Put the ball in their court. I mean, Opie hasn't been invited to the pre-wedding stuff. Courthouse wedding, isn't invited to the rehearsal dinner. I wouldn't want to go either. It isn't just about the money, though that is a valid concern. But the bride, I put quotes only because she's already technically married, throws a fit when OP says no to the one event they're actually invited to because of a plan that's already been in place for a long time. Not today, OP. Honestly, I tell her and your mom to kick rocks. Exactly. If the sister actually wanted OP there, she would have asked if she could come before the date was set in stone, and not told her about it only a month before the wedding is supposed to happen, especially since there's a major traveling involved in a pandemic. I highly doubt the sister wanted to have OP there at all. She probably just got pressured by the parents. Not today, Hull. Your sisters and parents had a choice too. They could have responded with understanding and kindness, noting their disappointment and asking if there was a way they could help to make your attendance possible. Yes, you can fly Friday and return Sunday. Yes, you can board your dogs. That's a lot of stress the day before you start your new job, not to mention the relocation. Be honest with your sister and family. While there is a lot of stress related to other events, relocation, new job, you simply don't have the financial resources for boarding, flights, hotel. Send your wishes for a happy event along with your gift.